Renewed clashes in South Sudan's Jonglei state have triggered mass displacement, blocked vital aid deliveries, and driven families in informal camps to the brink of starvation, while local hospitals filled with civilians wounded by gunfire. Violence between rival armed groups, including government forces and opposition fighters, has surged across northern and central Jonglei in recent weeks, uprooting an estimated 250,000 people who fled their homes in search of safety. Many of these families have congregated in makeshift camps such as Yola Court, where supplies have run almost entirely dry. At these informal camps along the White Nile and surrounding areas, mothers and children scavenge for whatever edible plants or seeds they can find. Aid has not arrived in many sites, leaving hundreds without adequate food, shelter, or clean water. Humanitarian agencies warn that access restrictions and ongoing fighting are severely hindering food and medical deliveries, increasing the risk of widespread hunger and putting more than 450,000 children at risk of malnutrition in Jonglei alone. In towns like Akobo and Bon, hospitals are reporting an influx of patients injured by gunshots and other violence. Medical staffs have revealed that wards are overwhelmed with wounded civilians, including children and elderly people, as fighting rages closer to population centers. At one hospital in Akobo, doctors treated dozens of gunshot victims in a single day. An 18-month-old boy admitted with a bullet wound had also lost his mother in the attack that triggered the flight from his village.
They come with different reasons. Some of them went to the front line. Some were bombardment by the government of South Sudan. Like we have 4 patients. Those 4 patients, they were at their home. They were bombarded by government of South Sudan.
I'm the only surgeon managing all these patients. And previously, ICRC used to come and, in case of mass casualty, they come and help us here. But currently, I think they have not given access by government and you got to come to assist us in this mass casualty.
If you get injured during the crossfire, that is counted as crossfire. It is not intentional. Because some of these areas, once the clashes took place, there were civilians that were still in town. Once the civilians fled out of the town, they were actually safe.
Medical facilities are struggling to cope amid shortages of supplies and staff. Health services have been further disrupted by clashes and attacks on aid infrastructure, leaving many clinics unable to meet the surging demand from displaced civilians. The United Nations and humanitarian partners have repeatedly called for safe and unhindered access to delivering life-saving food, water, and medical care to affected areas. But combat operations, road closures, and insecurity along major supply routes continue to block aid convoys, particularly during the critical lean season when hunger typically peaks. Without immediate de-escalation and restored aid access, agencies warn that food insecurity will worsen, potentially tipping entire communities into emergency levels of hunger.